And oh, look at this. A nice little expansion to just snipe out before he gets a chance to build.
Yeah, at this point in the game, we were like, we have tons of mobility right now, and I'm kind of reeling, constantly reeling from these economic blows, but we do have this Speedling Force, and Hypnotika is like, oh crap, Mutalisk, so what do I do now? And I think he finally sees them. Yeah, he does. And he is definitely not just going to try to go for the supply line there. That would be absolute Zergling suicide. But I think Hypnotika and TickTok might be trying to go for someone else. I think they're going for the blue Protoss right now. In the meantime, the opposing team, the Protoss and the Terran, are going for Hypnotika's base. So this looks like this is quickly going to become a 2v2 matchup. TickTok is taking this base while Hypnotika is trying to even out the numbers here. But there is a Banshee and 3 Hellions. I don't think Hypnotika is really going to be able to do that much. In the meantime, I'm still licking my wounds in my base. I barely have any probes left, and oh no, more Zerglings coming to attack me. Poor old Maze. I'm just getting destroyed here. Hypnotika's base is being very badly hurt. He's able to take some of these Stalkers out, but those Hellions and those Marines and those Banshees are just too much for us right now. This is such a crazy position we're in right now. Looks like TickTok was able to snipe out that base, but looks like it is kind of a 2v2 right now.
Yeah, so one thing that you'll notice is that the blue player, even though he has some production ability, he can't mine anymore, so he just can't make many more units than what he's got on the field right now. And it's really up to Maze, who is pretty mineral starved at this point, to help out with those Mutalisks, which are in his base, trying to snipe out those Stalkers. Maze is trying to do what he can with this production. In the meantime, I'm trying to run around looking for expansions, looking for places to help Hypnotika. Maybe he's got something left. Those Mutalisks see an opportunity to take me out, assuming that I have the greatest mineral production out of the team members, and I am in a lot of trouble right now with my slow overlords just not being able to do much.
Yeah, those Mutalisks are definitely going to go to town on those Overlords soon, and this economy, because really all there is a queen. We see that TickTok has just like 5 billion Zerglings right now, chasing down this poor little Stalker, and I think that's the last unit for the blue player. He doesn't have any probes, so he's not going to be able to rebuild, and Hypnotika doesn't have any drones either, but he does have 5 Zerglings, so at least a little bit better shape than the Protoss player, and those Overlords are being destroyed right now, and I have a couple of Stalkers to fight alongside that queen, and I think we are able to push these Stalkers, or these Mutalisks out a little bit, but I realize that my base is going to be in trouble if the teal player does decide to bring any Zerglings, and TickTok realizes that as well with this huge Zergling swarm here is there to protect me. And we see the Terran player moving out right now with tons of Hellions. Definitely Hellions on Zerglings is going to be pretty brutal. So let's see what's going to happen here.
So I've got my Zergling ball here and thinking, alright, where do I bounce to? And the first place I see is Teal's base. I know he has Mutalisks, and I wonder, do I just try to snipe something out? At first I see what I can do, and I notice that he only has 4 Mutalisks, so he will be doing some damage to my ball. But I really think that Maze's Stalkers will be able to help me out here.
Yeah, I've got about 7 Stalkers here, looks like, if I pass my elementary school math. And yeah, it looks like right now TickTok is definitely going to be able to snipe out. He's going right for that Spire. He's like, I don't want any more Mutalisks on the field no matter what. So these drones are trying to scurry out of here, evac, and it looks like TickTok is losing an expansion in the meantime. So just tons of stuff going on in this game right now, and TickTok finally going for that lair alongside my Stalkers, and it looks like TickTok's base is getting taken down too with those Mutalisks and those Banshees and those Hellions and a couple of Zealots from the blue player. I didn't even see those again, sneaky Zealots. And all I really have in my base to defend are 3 Stalkers, so I think these guys are probably just going to go straight for me. And yeah, so it looks like I am able to wall up a little bit. Perfect placement of those Stalkers, able to take a couple of Hellions down. And this Terran player is like, I'm not liking these odds right now, and that is a good thing for him because I'm bringing the rest of my force. So TickTok is pretty much out of a base. It looks like he has decided to expand right next to the Zerg player that we just took out, and a couple of Stalker fire going down on those Banshees. I'm trying to take down those expensive units as much as possible. TickTok trying to take down a couple of SCVs as well, but right now this game is pretty much gone from a 3v3 to a 2v2 to a 1v1, and I guess kind of a 1v2. TickTok kind of temporarily out of the match right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing to add now is we have no idea if they have any expansions on the map. So that's the one thing that I'm kind of on expansion control. And here is Maze coming in with those Stalkers, trying to snipe down whatever he can, going specifically for those Hellions so that my Speedlings can come in and just do whatever they can here to destroy the Terran base. Here we go now, trying to go to the mineral line. I see a tank there and I say, do I go for a tank, do I go for an SUV? I go for the tank just because I think it'll be a bigger threat in the long run for the Stalkers. And there are my Zerglings. Toast.
Yeah, that Zergling ball sadly going down, but TickTok finally starting to get this base, and it's instantly saturated with all those drones out there. And these Mutalisks are trying to protect this area as well, so it's actually kind of back to a 2v2 as we see this hatchery is coming up again. And Hogfight right here does have an expansion as well, and I have my probe here set up for an expansion. And I think TickTok was trying to go for a second expansion as well to definitely try to secure his economic position as much as he can. But it's really tough for me right now. It's pretty much my army against everyone else's. A couple of Zealots here still left from the blue Protoss. Both these Zealots have quite a few kills. And I'm trying to take down these Mutalisks as much as I can. They would be a huge help because those Mutalisks are going to be able to go to town on any kind of extra bases that we get. But it looks like right now it is going to be kind of a stalemate as I am finally back in the game, kind of back to where my economy was 10 minutes ago, believe it or not. And yeah, my Stalker's now encroaching on this position.
Yeah, one thing that you'll notice is right now we're really just trying to delay as much as possible. We see a 1v1 here where it's basically Maze versus the remaining forces of the other armies. But one thing that you'll notice quickly if you take a look at his base is that he has most of his minerals still up. And it just goes to show his major production. Here he is with the Terran Force after dealing with the Mutas. Those Banshees are doing very good damage to his Stalkers, and the Marauders were trying to slow him down, but they looks like the main thing here is they're trying to secure this expansion as close to Maze's base as possible. Stalkers are up, and if you take a look at my base, it looks like there's two Mutas versus my Queen. I'm very scared right now because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to maintain my expansion, but now my main base. Maze is coming in with those Stalkers. There goes my Queen. Kind of a big loss. I figure I might as well mine and just hope that these guys don't go for what is now my main base. In the meantime, we are just playing a stalling game with them and hoping that we are not attacked yet.
Yeah, and some Hellions coming in and trying to finish the job. A couple of drones getting toasted up here, and those Hellions are like, sorry, I am getting out away from those Stalkers. And I kind of like before that Queen died that Maze just spit on his hatchery because I'm like, I might as well use the rest of my Queen as much as I can. And I have a pretty good amount of Stalkers right now against this Terran Force. It actually seems pretty even. I'm even starting to get an expansion up, but these guys do have a base. This guy, Metamos, is starting to get back into the game, and I'm now taking this Terran army by myself. I don't even have Blink, so these Stalkers just kind of naked right now, but I do have more Stalkers than this guy can deal with. I'm like, he's on the run. I'm just going to keep going, using that Stalker speed to try to pick off these slower Marauders and this robot Viking here. And I see that Hogfight has this expansion, and luckily for me, I spot this out, and it looks like he is going to be able to, or I am going to be able to take this out, and he's going to be losing his only mining expansion, only a couple of dry patches left in his base. So right now, the opposing team really doesn't have all that much to deal with in terms of economy, and we see TickTok right now is trying to go to a base, or go to town on the rest of this base right here.
Yeah, it was very nice to see the lasers coming out of those Stalkers doing some damage to the Terran army, and it really looks like for the first time things are kind of starting to shift in our direction. Maze taking out that remaining expansion. We think that there might be one left, but we're not quite sure, but we just want to take out what we really see, and things are starting to go our way. I'm starting to finally output the Zerglings, and one thing that I've been struggling with recently was deciding, do I have two hatcheries that aren't mining just so that I can have more output? My thought here was I had a lot of minerals, and I'd rather just be able to protect one base at the moment, and that's what I was doing. So I decided to make two hatcheries, pump out as many Zerglings as quickly as possible, and I really think that benefited us.
Yeah, and it looks like I am just denying Chapel here a pylon, not like he really